Hello everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how to create stickers. These can be for your own personal business or as in items that you can sell. So I will show you how I did this with my own business stickers. I did have the design made by somebody else, so the actual image itself is already put together, but I will also show you how you can do this as well. Now, if you aren't able to use an iPad or Procreate in any way, I did used to actually use Microsoft Paint to do this initially. So this is another option. I'll show you how I did this too.
Space, I will upload the image of my business logo and put it as complex. You don't have to worry about deleting any of the backgrounds. So we want to put this as a print and cut image. So you could go a bit different and use square stickers. But in this instance, I want them circular. So let's resize this. And then I'm going to use a circle over the top. And we want this big enough to obviously include our logo and not cut any of it off. So I think that's probably about right. So what I then want to do is slice. And then we take out the bits that we don't want. So this leaves us with our sticker logo. So we then want to duplicate this and try and fit as many as we can onto one page. Obviously it avoids waste of vinyl, and obviously we want to utilize as much as we can. So easiest way is to copy and paste. Now an easy way of copy and pasting, I'm sure a lot of you know, is just Control-C and Control-V on your keyboard. So let's see how many we can fit on one page. The more complex your design, the slower that design space will go, and try and get these as close together as possible. So if we press make it, let's see if all those fit on one page. We might be able to squeeze one or two more lines in, so we can trial and error this. Let's see if that will work. So it's included one more line, but then you'll see over here it's got an extra line as well. So if we just go back, we can delete that extra line because we don't need it. So what we then want to do is press make it. And you'll see it's got this square around it. So this square, when you pop this sheet into your Cricut machine, it will calibrate the machine using these lines, and it'll know exactly where it needs to cut. So if we press continue, it will then ask you to send to printer. So we'll click that. I then also like to use system dialog, which lets me adjust the settings of the printing. Bleed is something that will cause the outline of your image to sort of spread out a little bit more. So if you're printing any text or anything like that, it will kind of distort it a little bit. I do like to use bleed on these so that if the cut is slightly out, it won't affect the area that it's cut and there won't be any white bits on it. So if we press print, it will come up with the system dialog asking for more details. So I go on preferences. I can then select that the print quality I want it to be best, and then the paper type I usually just set as other matte inkjet papers, and I will put a copy of the link that I use for the vinyl paper that I print from Amazon. So we'll press print, make sure the correct paper is in there.
Now when you're printing, you'll want to make sure that, well, depending on your printer, I use the HP V6010. Wouldn't necessarily recommend it. It's quite awkward, there's not a proper display, and it can be quite frustrating. But in this printer, you want to face the paper the shiny side down so that it will come up and print on that side. So now I'm going to attach this to my light grip mat. We don't need really anything more stickier or grippier than that because it's literally just thin paper. So we'll load this into the machine.
So when you've already printed your design, I then choose the material. So I set it to a custom setting, browse materials, and you can find sticker paper. And then you've got clear or white, so mine is white paper, so I'll select that. As this is just the basic paper, I will leave the default pressure setting. You can set this to more or less depending on your preference. If you are using gloss stickers, I would recommend setting it to more. It entirely depends up to you how you want the stickers to cut, whether you want it to cut through the whole page, in which case I'd recommend sort of a paper setting, or if you just want to have stickers removable from the backing as a whole.
So now what this is doing is it's scanning the black line to determine where it needs to cut. So you'll see this light. This light is what goes over the black line and sort of detects where the edge of the paper is. So it's done that. So this in theory should now cut nice circles around the stickers. So you'll see why I added the bleed. So just in case the cut is going in slightly the wrong place, it stops the outline going too white.
So this is a design that I've made on Procreate. There's 2 layers, my actual image and then a white background. If you group these together, select a new group and hit flatten, this will then create one image. If you then go to the spanner and select share, the best item to save it as is a PNG. And then when it's exported, you can save image. So if you don't use Procreate or an iPad or anything like that, you can use old school Microsoft Paint. So this is a design I made of the Jonas Brothers. It's a design I just drew. And then what I would have done is saved this image. And then I would have also gone around the image and saved a separate image of just a black outline. So you'll see what I mean in a second. So if we go to Design Space, I've already uploaded these images. So we'll pop these into Design Space. So we want to bring the actual coloured picture forward, and then the black background is actually going to be what is our white outline on the sticker. So you just want to resize these. And then what we'll do is we'll select the background and change this to white. We'll then select both items and hit flatten, and this will give you the design with the white outline. So in the essence of saving paper and actually an item that I need to print, I will show you a design that I've already done with a number of Jonas Brothers stickers that I've made. So if I customize it, I'll quickly show you what this looks like. Again, more complex designs will take some time to load in Design Space. So here are all my stickers. Now I've rearranged these upside down, sideways, everything like that, and attached them so that they all stay in the same place so that I know that they will all fit onto one page. So what I'll do is I'll now print these, and I'll show you with these how you can make the stickers gloss.
So now that's printed, what I use is a clear vinyl. So you might not be able to see this, but it peels up and it's clear. So now what I'm going to do is stick this over the top of the image. And
now when it comes to putting the seal over the top, it's easy to select one side to start on and then pop this over gently as you can. And then I use my little scraper tool to push the vinyl onto the sheet and pull the backing off at the same time. You want to get out the air bubbles as best as you can and just obviously make sure it's all nice and smooth. And then smooth it all down because it might curl the paper slightly, and then you can cut off any excess that you might have.
now I load this into the machine in the exact same way. And this time, instead of selecting default on the pressure, I'm going to set it as more because obviously the paper is going to be a bit thicker now. Okay, so whilst it's super annoying that this has happened, I'm kind of glad it has because everyone wants to know what to do when things go wrong. So you will see that these stickers have printed in the wrong place. So this means that the calibration of the machine is out. So I will now show you how to calibrate your machine. This will happen occasionally. I calibrate my machine probably once every couple of weeks. You never know when it's going to strike that it's out, but it's good to know how to fix it.
To calibrate your machine, all you need to do is open Design Space, go to the 3 lines in the corner, scroll down and hit calibration. Now what this will do, it will send a print and cut item to your printer. This can be done on just regular paper. So you press print and cut. I'll let it find my printer. And then you hit print. And then what this will do, it will print out an image that's got some squares and some lines on it, which I'll show you in a second.
So then I just pop this on a normal paper cut setting and press go. So again, it will scan the black lines to sort of figure out where it needs to be cutting. Obviously, because the calibration was so out on the stickers, it's likely that this will be out.
Once it's cut the small square, it will ask you whether the cut touched the black line the whole way round. Now, strangely on mine, it has, even though the sticker cut was completely out. It may be the case that the shiny surface I put on the top actually hindered the light and it sort of reflected where it thought it needed to cut. This is also another possibility. So if you can try and avoid covering the black outline, I think that's probably a best option. So I'm going to hit yes on this one. What it will do now is fine tune the calibration. So on your sheet you'll have numbers 1 to 21 and letters A to U, and it will cut along these lines and determine which one was the best cut, and you'll have to pop this in as you'll see. So for me, the best cuts are probably, I'm going to say 12 and J. So if we put the top as 12 and right as J and press continue, this will now run a cut on the larger rectangle, and this will be the final stage of the calibration. Now, if your machine is still sort of out, it will ask you to confirm if this cut is wrong, and then what you can do is just reprint and calibrate again. It may take a couple of attempts, but it will get there in the end. So as you'll see, this is now finished cutting, and mine is pretty darn close, so I'm going to say that yes, I am happy with my cut. So press continue, and then it says you're good to go, so you can save and close.
So that's how you make stickers. So you can get your gloss versions, which are obviously shiny, any different shape that you want, or your more traditional, these are matte ones, hope I had it up the right way, that I've then cut from the actual full print, and then I can use these for packaging and things like that. So yeah, all the links that products that I've used will be in these bio. And please do like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks.